2023 to order. I'd like to go over, once again, as you all know, if it's a tornado, we go downstairs. If it is a disaster procedure, like a fire, we go out this exit. Since the meetings are being videotaped, it is important that everyone speak directly into a microphone when speaking. And so we'll start with roll call of Alderman. Jenny?
Alderman Hazel.
Here.
Alderman Whitaker.
Here.
Alderwoman Duco.
Here.
Alderwoman Aris.
Here.
Alderman Randall.
Here.
Alderman Ferguson. Alderman Anthony.
Here.
Alderman Ovian.
Here.
Alderman Dintelman.
Here.
Alderwoman Schaefer.
Here.
Alderwoman Steele. Alderman Rothweiler.
Here.
Alderman Elmore.
Here.
Alderman Wygant. Alderwoman Sullivan.
Here.
Alderwoman Ostoff.
Here.
Wygant, Steele, and Ferguson are excused, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Department heads, Jenny.
City Treasurer Bierman. City Attorney Horner.
Present.
Police Chief Matt Eiskamp.
Here.
Fire Chief Lord Stinson.
He was just called out for a fire.
Okay. Finance Director Jamie Matrit. Director of Public Works Jason Poole. Director of Wastewater Randy Smith. Director of Library Leander Spearman. Director of IT Eric Walls.
Here.
City Engineer Sal Elcott.
Here.
Director of Health, Housing, Building Scott Tyler.
Here.
Director of Economic Development, Planning, Zoning Cliff Cross.
Present.
Director of Human Resources Bill Clay. Director of Communications and PR Kathy Kaiser. The Treasurer Chief Stinson, Jason, Randy Smith, Bill Clay, and Kathy are excused, and Jay Gott is here for Randy and wastewater.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, public hearing. We do have public hearing tonight. So this is a petition for annexation of 1709 Carlisle Avenue, parcel 08-200-012 or 012 is now open for comments. Please state your name and address for the record. Do we have anyone here that wants to comment on the annexation of this parcel? Did you want to say anything, Cliff?
No, there's nothing really that we have to say, but if you look at our ordinance and we annex in properties, any underlying zoning district that's assigned to it outside of the A1 or agricultural zoning district requires this public hearing, which is why it's on the agenda tonight, so.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hearing no other conversation or comments, the public hearing is hereby closed. Okay, public participation, this is 2 to 3 minutes per person. And do we have anyone here tonight for public participation? Please state your name and address.
Jerry Boyer, 208 East Main Street, Suite 100,
Okay,
Belleville, of course. I'm here, there's a motion on the from administration 11C1 to terminate Kaskaskia Engineering's contract regarding the construction inspection for Forest Avenue. This contract was executed under this administration. We haven't started the contract yet, and no one from the city has ever contacted us to talk about this action. And so we'd like to ask the city to at least meet with us and talk before you take any action, and let's talk about why the termination is going to happen. I did hear from one alderman that they thought it was because we did the design and didn't want the same firm to do the construction inspection. It's kind of standard practice in the local roads arena. When I worked at IDOT, we passed those contracts over and over and over. I know the city, we tried that on West Main Street. We designed it. We had Gonzalez doing the construction inspection. It cost a lot of money because they weren't up to speed with the plans or the conversations that had gone on with property owners and FHWA. We had to tear things out and replace them because they made decisions without talking to us. And at that time, the city engineer hadn't been following the project closely, so there's a lot of money that was spent that didn't have to be spent. Construction inspection is inspection of the contractor. It's not anything to do with the plans. And so, especially Forest it's been a project that's been ongoing, and the current city engineer wasn't here when it was being designed and all of the conversations were going on with property owners, and we were trying to work out drainage problems and figure out how this thing could work and we could get it constructed. So really think that it's for the city's best interest if you stay with the same firm that designed it, so that we can not have problems and overruns because somebody doesn't understand why decisions were made. So I just ask that maybe you table it tonight so that we can at least have a meeting with the city and discuss what the pros and cons are to having us continue the contract that's already been executed. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Okay, so we will now move on to the character word of the month is integrity, meaning doing what is right even when it is difficult. Now I need a motion to approve the city council meeting and executive session minutes of December 19th, 2022.
Schaefer, so moved.
Thank you. Second?
Harris.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Now, claims, payroll, and disbursements. A motion to approve claims and disbursements in the amount of $1,616,388.38, and payroll in the amount of $944,631.37.
Schaefer, so moved. Harris, second.
Okay, discussion? Any roll call?
Hazel.
Aye.
Whitaker.
Aye.
Duco.
Aye.
Harris. Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Ovian.
Aye.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Rothweiler. Elmore. Sullivan.
Aye.
Osthoff.
Aye.
Motion carries, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Now, oral reports from standing committees, special committees, and any other oral reports from the elected officials or staff. So, Alderman Randall.
Thank you, Mayor. Folks, is it okay if I read them together?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion from Streets and Grades, 11A1, a motion to reimburse Illinois American Water Company, ILAWC, $21,879 for curb, gutter removal and reconstruction, and $25,000 for the resurfacing of Town Hall Road, for a total reimbursement of $46,879, the city's portion of the work. 11A2, a motion to sell, transfer, scrap the following vehicles from the Sanitation Department: a 2009 International VIN number J121025, 2014 International VIN number T2EH764996, 2007 International VIN number J449869, and a 2000 International VIN number J449870. So moved.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Whitaker.
Aye.
Duco.
Aye.
Harris. Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Ovian.
Aye.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Rothweiler. Elmore. Sullivan.
Aye.
Osthoff.
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Motion carries, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Now I need another motion from Economic Development and Annexation. Alderman Randall.
Thank you, Mayor. 11B1, a motion to approve the petition for annexation of 1709 Carlisle Avenue, parcel 08-24.0-200-012. So moved.
Schaefer, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Duco.
Aye.
Harris. Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Ovian.
Aye.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Rothweiler. Elmore. Sullivan. Osthoff. Hazel.
Aye.
Whitaker.
Aye.
Motion carries, Mayor.
Okay, motion from administration. This is a motion to terminate a contract with Kaskaskia Engineering Group LLC, approved May 17th, 2021, regarding the construction inspection for Forest Avenue in the amount of $39,427. I need a motion and a second.
Whitaker, so moved.
Second?
Ostrov.
Discussion.
I think Sal needs to come up
I
and
do too.
talk.
Yes, Sal.
The reason for the termination, well, first of all, Ms. Boyer, I applaud you standing up for your country. I do appreciate that. And in my position and my responsibility as the city engineer, I have to abide by the will of the public, and the will of the public is represented by this body. This body had approved unanimously that the company doing the design be different than the company doing the construction inspection. And that is what I have counseled all 5 companies that work for us on the projects today. In the construction inspection agreement that we have with Kaskaskia, there is a clause, like there is in almost every IDOT agreement, that the local agency can terminate the agreement. Now, consider the opposite of this. If I come to you when I had the opportunity to implement your will, you should have questions for me. But when I come to you implementing the will of the public through this body by asking you to terminate the contract, then that's a different story, answered in the affirmative. So, do you have any questions for me about this?
I'm just gonna bring it out. So the reason we are terminating this contract is because we've said whoever is doing the project, we do not want them inspecting, correct?
That is the only reason.
Okay.
And when was that approved?
I wish I could tell you. I don't have, I mean, I was
Jared?
here and
Do you have it?
I do not, but I think this is just simply a recommendation from the city engineer based upon the explanation that he just provided. The reason it would take council action is because notice has to be provided in the event of termination, and because the contract was approved by the council, and that any termination prior to providing notice would have to likewise be approved by the council. So I guess the question before the council now is simply the city engineer's recommendation that you engage somebody different than the firm that did the design work to do the construction inspection engineering.
Yes.
I just want to clarify what your question is, Alderman Harris. You asked when was this approved? Are you talking about the project in its originality, or the change that we have decided? Okay, the change that we have decided to follow through, as Sal says unanimously, was to not have the same inspection.
understand that. I
Yeah,
just
but
didn't know
that
if
was
it did.
done, I believe, now I'm afraid to throw out a date, but I believe it was earlier this year, like March.
Yes, Mr. Hazel.
Mayor, it makes complete sense what Ms. Boyer said. When, you certainly don't want the construction engineers re-inspecting their own work, but the design company, the design engineers, it makes complete sense for the design engineers to inspect the work that the construction company did, to make sure that it follows their design, their conversations through the course of this. And I've also been part of the cost overruns that she was talking about. And it was terrible. Plus, then who are we gonna have inspect the work? A company who was denied the contract to begin with? And then have that company come back in and re-inspect that
I'm not for
same
sure
work?
that there were bids on being taken at that time, especially on Forest Avenue.
Well, regardless, we're not talking about only Forest Avenue here, because he's using what we voted on council apparently as his only reasoning for this action. And so maybe that action is wrong and should be reconsidered. And I certainly would make a motion that we table this, and I think it needs more conversation, because maybe we are opening up our doors to more cost, especially whenever there's a war between one engineer and another engineer, and they just want to cause issues with an inspection. I mean, we're opening up at the doors of a lot of potential issues, and maybe we should revisit this.
I have a question for Sal. Have we rescinded any other inspections?
We haven't had any occasion to do this. Forest Avenue is on the letting for, I think, the 25th of this month, and this is the only occasion we have that. This is what I've been telling all 5 companies when they speak with me, please give us the construction inspection contract. I can't do that without going rogue, meaning that operate in contradiction of what you have decided.
And we started this process at least 3 or 4 years ago, I believe, on Forest Avenue in my ward.
But I think as far as the bid process, because I sat in on the Welcome to Belleville when they were going through everything with Forest Avenue. I asked some questions. I was muted when I asked the questions. But there was also a question then, at that time, about the bidding process. Because we're still in a situation where we are still looking at contracts. We recently asked for a copy of contracts from the same engineering company, and we did not get that. So
I agree with what we voted on, I think, back in March. The inspections should be done by a separate entity. And that is something that you send out for bid, I think.
Yes, we get proposals from the companies that.
Just the inspection.
Just the inspection, right? In this particular case, based upon what you have decided, I need to solicit for proposals from, if company A did the design work, then I need to solicit proposal from one of the other 4 companies.
Mayor, I have a motion on the floor.
yes,
I have a motion on the floor to table this.
okay, Garrett, do you have anything to say?
If there's a motion to table, there would need to be a second. And then if there's a second, then by virtue of your council rules, you would have to have a vote on the motion to table in the event of a second prior to voting on the motion to approve and the second related to the action that's on the agenda.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor to table,
Harris will second that.
okay? Any more discussion? Yes,
I would just like to know what the holdup is, why the project hasn't started.
Well, that's a question better answered by the design company, and I'm not directing this to Ms. Boyer. Sometimes projects run into trouble for many different reasons. Sometimes it's regulatory issues in this project. I don't know why it took this long. Sometimes it's the company doing the work, and I'm not suggesting this is the case here.
that's fine if you have the answer.
The plans were actually submitted final to IDOT back in August,
Mm-hmm.
and they were waiting for information from the city to tell IDOT how, there was like a $20,000 difference between the cost estimate, and what was allocated by the city. So they were waiting to know how they were going to fund the additional $20,000, and then they were also waiting for when they wanted to bid the project. And that goes back to August. So the project.
I think there were also some other things like emails passing back and forth, more chart.
That's why we wanted, that's why it works so much better to have a meeting, but we can never get a meeting with
We
the
should
city.
have this discussion.
I mean, that's why it would be nice to just meet and talk about some things.
We've got a motion,
Yes.
right? And we need to call, we need
Okay.
to do a roll call.
Let's call for the vote.
Harris,
And this is the vote on the motion.
No.
Anthony?
Aye.
Ovian?
Wait, I want to know specifically, is this the table or
This
the
is,
vote?
the motion on the floor is to table.
Table? No.
Dintelman?
No.
Schaefer?
Aye.
Rothweiler?
No.
Elmore?
No.
Sullivan?
Aye.
Osthoff?
No.
Hazel?
Aye.
Whitaker?
No.
Duco?
Aye.
I have 6 ayes, 7 noes. Garrett? Motion doesn't.
That would fail. You need half the council.
Could you repeat that, Garrett, because I don't think people heard you.
Yeah, the motion to table, you need 9 votes. On the underlying one, because it's an action involving the contract. But this one, is it 7 in favor?
7
Okay,
no and 6 yes.
So if that would fail either way. So you're back to the motion. That motion fails, you're back to the underlying motion.
Right, and I have a motion on the floor for approval.
Call for a vote.
Okay.
Randall?
Aye.
Anthony?
Aye.
Ovian?
Aye.
Dintelman?
Aye.
Schaefer?
No.
Rothweiler?
Aye.
Elmore?
Aye.